Hey guys, this is Muggs from Silver Warrior, bringing you my second video to my new series of why replays are important. And so in this attack, we're going to watch Carson do a logo wipe. Now, if we scout this base for a quick second, we can see that there's probably no double giant bomb spots. So there's a potential Tesla or bomb there. Same with here, and then everything else has got to be outside the base. And I think Carson built this army, this logo wipe, for another base that someone 3-starred before he attacked. So he was looking for a base that would work, and this one works for a logo wipe. It's got centralized air defense. The queen's centralized, so he's going to send his army this way, and it should be fine. He'll deal with this at the very end. It wouldn't be that big a deal. So yeah. So let's see how Carson starts. He drops one giant to start his lure. He could have dropped a little higher up here so that it lived a little longer and maybe made sure he got a full lure of the CC. He drops his kill squad up top. No big deal. They start doing work. Fast forward for a second here. So one thing that Carson did a really good job of is that, he doesn't have a ton of extra troops. He wants to keep these witches alive as long as possible. He drops this golem to tank. He wants to tank for his witches and wizards so they don't die. He wants to keep those alive so they can help clear some of this side of the base. He also drops the golem wide over here and the rest of his wizards to make sure these buildings are cleared, let his peck his own circle. In this particular base, there's all the buildings that would usually make a P.E.K.K.A circle the base are on the inside now, so it's not really a major concern. So he drops some wall breakers, drops his P.E.K.K.As. They really have no choice but to go this direction now. They go in, the queen's hitting on the golem, they go straight for her. He drops the rage, he drops the jump spell. So his jump spell is obviously over this edge. And you think that right when this queen dies, they're going to kill this and then run to the middle. But because this wizard tower was still up, they decided it was a closer route to get here, and all of his troops end up circling the base. So that was really unfortunate for him. I thought they were going to go to the middle, but sometimes that's just kind of how these bases are designed. It's hard to really predict where the troops and their AI is going to work. So anyways, at this point, you probably is not going to get 3 stars. So we can scout this base for the next attacker. All right, and as you can see, it was a really good idea to drop that golem there because look, all of this kill squad's still going up here. It's killed this whole side of the base with a level 2 golem, which is pretty good. So he drops his hogs, a bomb pops there. All right, and so we know there's one bomb there. There's a Tesla here. His troops are still going. His CC's now finally dying because his golem died. All right. He has 5 archers left. He ends up dropping one on this corner and one on this corner as his troops slowly march around the base and kind of clean up what they can. All right, we'll fast forward for a second. All right, so he's got 3 archers left, and he's going to just drop them. There's no point of saving them. He realized that he can't he's not going to get a 2-star. He's going to let it end. And the reason why when you're fighting and you don't want to end an attack early because it might help the next person, okay? And that was a really good thing that Carson did. He kept the attack going, and then he tried to spawn or drop archers around the base to help clear off these buildings, but also to maybe pop a couple bombs. And as you can see, he landed right on a giant bomb, and it killed 2 of his archers. Then the other one died from the cannon. But from this attack, we know that the Teslas are here, 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 and here. No, where were they? Where's the last one? I think that was it. And we know that there's a giant bomb here, a giant bomb here, and there's probably one here, and there's probably one somewhere else. There might not be one here, but I don't know what else is there. It can't be a Tesla. So it was a really good thing that Kev let the attack go through, and he dropped those archers. So now the next person will know where the bombs are, and they can just drop one barbarian and pop them. You always want to pop the bombs when you can. Even if they're terribly placed. Like, that's a terrible place for a giant bomb. So let's find the next attacker on this base. Okay, it's right here. Alright, so General Cody attacked. And after he saw that replay, It's like, man, I'm going to hog this base. I know where 2 of the bombs are. There's no double giant bombs because there's a Tesla in here. All right, so he does the same strategy as Carson. Drops the giant. Lures the CC to the top. Drops his kill squad. They do their job. Now, like I mentioned in the first video, Carson did a phenomenal job of protecting his kill squad. Cody, on the other hand, does not do anything to protect his kill squad. All right, so because of how this base is laid out, the way that he could have attacked it while protecting his CC, his cleanup troops, and making sure the queen has threat is he'd have to drop the golem a little earlier. If he drops the golem earlier and the queen gets threat, he can instantly drop all of his hogs on this side of the base. All these defense would have targeted the hogs, and these cleanup troops would have been fine. All right, because he waited long to drop the golem, the queen, all the cleanup troops die. So you really want to make sure you protect your cleanup troops, because if you protect them, the chance of you cleaning up the whole base are very good. Because a lot of times when you're attacking a hard hog base, you might have like 5 hogs left or 3 hogs left, and if all your witches lived, those are 2 witches, a wizard, and some skeletons. You might still be able to clear out the base because those witches are cleaning up the whole time your hogs are going through the base, right? So he drops his golem, he drops his heroes, queen, his wizards. And guys, if you're doing a go, you always want to save a wizard just in case. Or drop 1 wizard and bring an extra archer or 2. Or usually I save a wizard because they help clean up they do a ton of damage. So you always want to save a troop. So the queen dies. He's ready to go. At this point he can deploy his hogs anytime he wants. He decides that he's going to deploy his hogs from the bottom. Alright, no big deal. So the Tesla's here. He didn't drop his hogs here. I'm not sure why, but he didn't. And he's lucky he didn't deploy his hogs here because we know there's a bomb here. Alright, so his hogs are going through the base. So we were right, there's a bomb there. I mean, he's going through this base like nothing. You know, this base is pretty low defenses. He does a good job of keeping his hogs up. The king is chasing him around. He's barely doing anything. He's got a whole heal left. He drops it just to make sure his hogs are topped off, I guess, even though he didn't need to. These hogs, it's good that they split because these hogs are going to kill some of these buildings over here. And like I said, because he had so many hogs left over and they split, he's not going to have a big problem with cleanup. So he's got 1 minute and 25 seconds left. He's got 100 hogs left, it looks like. They're going through the base. It's basically an auto 3-star. If he had have saved his wizards and witches, all these things would have been, this would have been dead, this would have been dead, this would have been dead. And they probably would have walked all the way down by here by now, or maybe some of the buildings inside the base, and the fight might have been over already. Okay? So they're marching along. He's got this wizard just beating on a wall. There's nothing he can do. They finally clean up this, and he's got 2 buildings left. He's got 1 building in the corner and 1 building in the corner here. His hogs run to the corner building, and I think they're going to pop on this bomb right here, but they barely miss. All right, they barely miss, and they do. But like we saw in the first video, we know there's a bomb here and a bomb here. So his hogs are running right where they're going to go. They only got 1 building left. He's got 30 seconds. He's got 1 wizard in the middle. And then as I'm watching this replay, I realize Cody's attacking Jesus. And Jesus said, "No, sir. No, sir." Didn't know about that, did you? How about that? Bam! So as Cody's mouth hits the floor in astonishment, in shock, this whole thing could have been prevented by taking 1 less hog and 4 barbs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever you want to drop them, you know, whatever you're going to do. All right. So guys, watch replays and don't make the same mistake Cody did. Peace.